Hello, everyone. I'm Danielle Johnson, hosting this episode of Kingsborough Focus. Joining us today is multi-talented woman Rehana Kahn, a photographer, entrepreneur, fashion designer, and a queen in every position she's in. She's actively explores the synergy between traditionally established methods for new ways to teach her students, bringing the birth to new generation of talent and beauty. Hello, Rehana. How are you today?
I'm great, Danielle. Thanks for having me.
No problem. What brings you back to Kingsborough?
Well, I'm here to visit my old professor and just visit Kingsborough in general because I've had so many great memories here.
That's really great. So I heard this is your second time coming back to Kingsborough. What did you do for the first year when you had entered Kingsborough?
So initially, I got my degree in mental health, and that was back in '06. And I got my first bachelor's in forensic psychology. It didn't work out. By the time I graduated, I was already burnt out. It wasn't fun for me anymore as a career. I decided to go back to school eventually, and I did media studies. And I graduated a little bit too early. Like, I graduated early, but I didn't do an internship, and that messed me up a great deal. Because when I went to go for jobs, they would ask me, what experience do you have? And I didn't really have other than what I did in schoolwork. So I had to put myself back into school at the age of 28, and I came back a second time around to Kingsborough because that's where I felt like I thrived the best. And I did media arts at the time.
Oh,
And Professor Acosta was my professor.
there's nothing wrong going back to school. You have to do what you have to do nowadays. So what internship did you do?
So through Acosta's class, I found out about an internship with the motion picture and television department for the governor. And we dealt with locations. So if anybody was filming in New York, they would come and get the licensing from our office.
Oh, wow.
So I was the publicist assistant for Governor Cuomo at the time.
That's really good. That's really, really good. And also, you're a fashion designer? I see your necklace. It's really cute.
Yes. So ever since I was a child, I've been an artist, but for whatever reason, I was collecting beads for no apparent reason. I just had it, and during my high school years, I just had this whole bunch of beads for no reason, and I just decided to, hey, one summer start making stuff, and it became a hobby. And in college, I was working several jobs. I was doing I got scholarships, but it was never enough to pay my way through school. So I said, why not just take all the inventory that I had and try to sell it? I managed to actually make enough money to pay for one semester of school during that time.
That's really great. So you definitely did your hustle for you to finish school,
Yes.
start your career, and so on. And also, you're a photographer. What have you taken pictures of?
So after I graduated here, I found that I had a interest in taking photos more so than like videoing things and editing photos as well. Sorry. I just kind of fell into it. One summer I had nothing to do, and I was just browsing online, and I happened to come across an ad to volunteer at a film festival. And I was like, why not? It's something to do. I like seeing films, and I did it. And I was initially the publicist assistant there too, because based off of my internship, they were like, oh, well, you're in publicity and marketing. But we had photographers there that weren't reliable. So we would have media events, red carpet events, and they would take photos and they would not get it to us in time for us to get it out the next day. So the people who was coming to the festivals couldn't promote themselves in time. So I just took it upon myself and started taking photos because I had to cut the middleman out. You're affecting us. You're affecting my job. You're affecting us as a whole and the image of the festival. So I did that and they liked it, and this is my 8th year doing it.
That's really good. And what festival did you do?
So that festival that I first started out with, it's called Festival Cinema NYC. So it was its first year, and it was a very ambitious festival because it took on 10 days as its inaugural year, and it had 3 locations and a very small group of volunteers. But we managed to make it a success with the running between locations with the very few of us, and with me doing double duty of taking photos and getting it out there to the media. And I was also hosting podcasts at the time. We had this filmmaker podcast lounge, and they took us serious. The next year, we had United Artists take us as a sponsor, and we had SAG-AFTRA, we had a final draft. A lot of people came on and took us seriously. And now this year, we're actually going to be an Oscar-nominated festival.
Wow, that's amazing. So are you going to take pictures there at the festival?
Yes, I'm now lead photographer, and now when I go on the carpet, I have people like Shutterstock and Getty Images taking instructions from me and the publicist. And then I also media train and tell people how to act on the red carpet, because you would be surprised how many actors and actresses go on the red carpet and they just freeze. They don't know what to do unless you direct them to do stuff, and how to answer a question on the media carpet, how to leverage their film to promote themselves.
Wow, I would think that they would have so much more experience, because they always mostly on the red carpet, mostly all the time.
No,
That's wow.
You
so
would
etiquette.
assume that, but no.
Oh, wow, you really are so multi-talented. But we have a picture of you on the red carpet. Wow, you take a lot of beautiful photos. You're a teacher, etiquette teacher. You're just so talented. You really are good. Your work is amazing, honestly.
Yes, I used to teach full-time art and technology, and actually photography. Now I teach on more of a project basis for a Boys and Girls Club.
Oh, wow.
I do it more of to keep them off the streets. I want them to channel that energy into something creative,
right,
and something positive.
And have a career out of it, so
Yes.
they won't be on the streets.
Even while I
really
was
good.
a full-time teacher, my teaching was by the time they graduated, because I did junior high and high school, I wanted them to have a full portfolio. They had no excuse to say they couldn't go out there and get a job to put themselves through college.
Wow, you really are good. You're an amazing person. You're really, really good. Hopefully you would take more. So do you travel with your photography?
Yes, actually, I work for one of the biggest graduation companies. Actually, it is the biggest graduation company. And I take photos at universities. Actually, I took one this morning for Baruch College at Barclays Center, and I came straight here. But I do travel coast to coast in different states, and most of my clients are the Ivy Leagues.
That's good. So you work with Harvard, Princeton.
Yes, Columbia being my biggest client.
Wow, you're great. You really are great. Okay, we would like to thank Rehana for her time on the behalf of the Kingsborough community. We look forward to your future contributions to fashion, photography, business, and all benefits that your years of experience have to offer. That's all the time we have today. Thank you for joining us on this special episode of Kingsborough Focus.